family. If you're in or near Columbia, South Carolina, you've got to visit the House of Hathor, located at 6319 North Main Street. Open Tuesday through Saturday, it's your one-stop shop for African clothing, African masks, natural soaps, incense, candles, jewelry, and more. Plus, they've got a beautiful event space. Owned and operated by Baba Rutaski and Mama Nekterma Canute. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the culture. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the movement. When you support the House of Hathor, you support the people.
Greetings, my brothers and sisters. Welcome to the House of Hathor's Libation, Liberation, Lifestyle Ceremony. We come to you with the message from the ancestors this day that will continue to bring forth our truth, that we continue to bring forth the unity of self, the community of self, in all areas of people activity, that we are using the talents, the creativity, that we are a true representation of our ancestors, that we are the next level of attainment that the ancestors have given to us, and then we acknowledge them for all that they have placed upon our thoughts, our words, our actions, that they have placed upon the vessel, the altar, and the temple of our great energy, spirit, and soul. So let us acknowledge them, let us honor them, and let us venerate them. For if it was not for them, none of us would be here. For they were the vessels used to bring us forward, to be the example of everlasting life, to be the example of our truth, to be the example of our justice, to be the example of our propriety, our reciprocity, our harmony, our balance, and our order. So let us bring them forward so that they may bear witness to what they have stored within us. We call upon our ancestors far and near, fathers and mothers of our fathers, mothers and fathers of our mothers, to bear witness to all that we have done. And it is by your example that you continue to inspire us towards reclaiming our ancestral minds, regenerating our ancestral spirit, liberating our families, our homes, and our communities, and restoring our greatness as a people. We pour libation to bring into our midst your venerable ancestral spirit, radiating your great wisdom, your courage, your dedication, and your unyielding commitment to victory by any means necessary. It is in the honor of our Creator, the great ancestor of all ancestors, our mothers and fathers, our sisters and our brothers, our children and their children, our grandparents, great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, our aunts, uncles, cousins, friends, and elders of the community, that we pour this libation in your honor. In the honor of the Creator, the great ancestor of all ancestors, and the various manifestations of the Creative Spirit, we pour libation. Ashe. For our esteemed ancestors, who laid the foundation for human civilization, and who provides the wisdom to which we live and the models by which our lives are guided, we pour libation. Ashe. And for our esteemed ancestors, who suffered the atrocities and the horrors of our Ma'afa, but yet demonstrated the victorious power of the ancestral spirit by maintaining their dignity no matter the cost, we pour libation. Ashe. And for our esteemed ancestors who survived and made it possible for us to be here today, that we continue the fight of our ancestral liberation and our vindication, we pour libation. Ashe. And finally, for our children and their children and future generations of our ancestors to come, that they too in their time will vindicate our race from all adversaries, and that they will continue to imprint upon the world the great genius of our ancestral humanity, we pour libation. Ashe. May your venerable spirit engulf this occasion to reaffirm our ancestral canity. It is done. The great ancestor of all ancestors is satisfied. Ashe. 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 Dua Neter. So we say, Hotep, peace and power to you all this day, my brothers and sisters, that the ancestors continue to engage us, they continue to instill in us, they continue to encourage us, they continue to influence and enlighten us for the work that must be done while we are here on this level of our attainment as spiritual beings having human experiences. And so the ancestors are speaking to us today about making sure that we are using the gifts that's been given to us as we're building and manifesting and generating and reflecting and projecting what they have given to us, that we are using them in all the areas of people activity. And when we're talking about people activity, we're talking about using what they have given to you. Your knowledge, your wisdom, the information, and the instructions should always go towards your education, your economics, your entertainment, your labor, your law, your politics, your religion, your relationships, and your war that is going to be waged against you as you are living your truth. Because there are going to be entities, there are going to be peoples and systems that are going to wage war against you, and then you must be able to protect your economics, your education, your entertainment, your labor, your law, your politics, your relationships, and the war that is going to be waged against you. That means that how are you going to protect it? How are you going to be educated in those areas that you must live in order for you to live your truth? How are you being educated? Through the Spirit, through the books that you read, through the relationships that you have with different people. The entertainment, when you're using true entertainment as it pertains to your truth, that means how do you celebrate? Entertainment has to do with celebrating. How do you celebrate your knowledge, your wisdom, your clarity, your understanding of your truth? How do you celebrate it? How do you entertain not only yourself, but the people around you? How do you celebrate your accomplishments? How do you celebrate the knowledge and the wisdom that you have attained? That is what the entertainment is about. And then the labor, we're talking about how much work that you are putting in to the work that must be done. What type of labor are you committing yourself to that truth that you have within yourself? Why are you doing what you're doing? When are you doing what you're doing? And how are you doing what you're doing? That is the labor that you're committing yourself to, your purpose for doing it, your intentions. That is what labor is talking about, is all those areas that we're speaking of. What is your commitment, and how are you committing yourself to your truth? And then what laws that are coming from within you that says that you are justified in doing what you have been anointed and ordained to do, because that comes from Spirit. Everything that you do is a commitment that you have. It is through Spirit. Man's law does not sanction your truth. Man's law only commits itself to the physical. But when we're speaking about truth and what's your purpose for being here, it is from the spiritual realm. And there is a law that governs the spiritual realm that we all must be a part of, and we must make sure that we are relevant to that law of the spiritual realm that says that we have the right to do and be what we've been designed to be. And then there is also a politics that plays a part in that as well. And the politics has to do with your community, your family, those like spiritual beings that are around you. There's a politics that plays a part in that as well. But it cannot and it should not take away from what you have been placed here to do. And if that politics plays a part into you doing what you've been designed to do, then that means that you must excuse yourself from that particular lifestyle. So that's where the politics come in. And then the religion or spirituality, that means that is what's governing everything that exists within you. That is where the politics play a part in it. As you govern yourself, as you govern yourselves within other people that are working with you collectively and cooperatively, that you are uniting all of your talents and your efforts together to be as one, that is where the relationships or the religion part of that comes in. That means that you must surround yourself of like spiritual beings. That means that each of you are working together harmoniously and in balance and in order together. That is where religion plays a part. And then it's about relationships, my brothers and sisters. Every vessel has a tie in to another vessel. That means that whatever vessel or organ or artery or vein that you may be in the grand schemes of the Creator, that you must be that, and then you are attached to something else that can help perpetuate what you have been designed to do. And then you will help them perpetuate what they have been designed to do. We are not detached from each other. We are interconnected. We are interrelated. We are interdependent. And then we interact with each other in the grand scheme of what the Creator has placed us here to be. Because we are all a part of the body of the Creator. From a spiritual standpoint, we are all interconnected, interrelated, interacting, and interdependent with each other. That is where the relationships come in. And then how do we protect our truth? How do we protect our whole efforts, our labor, our law? How do we protect our education, our economics, our labor? How do we protect it from outside forces that may not want us to be what we have been designed to be? How do we protect it at all costs? Because we also protect it through the spiritual realm as well. That is where the first protection comes from, through the spiritual realm. All things that we think, all things that we speak, and all things that we do happens in the spiritual realm first. And it will let us know how we are to protect ourselves from outside distractions, outside attractions, outside chaos, outside oppressions or depressions that may want to stamp us out. Because that is the part that our ancestors, they didn't teach us. They may not have known themselves, but we have the thought, we have the energy, the spirit that governs everything that we do that will help us to protect our truth in this aspiration. So let us move forward. In all those areas of people activity, we have to make sure that we are using all those areas in our truth. That is the only way that we can exist. That is the only way we can be the better examples of the generations that are coming after us. That is the only way to be the example of justifying our truth, of living our truth, that becomes our lifestyle. And as we continue to honor, as we continue to venerate, as we continue to acknowledge our ancestors, they will continue to pour into us everything that is required for us in those areas of people activity. They will continue to enhance, increase, enrich. They will continue to ensure us, because income comes through the knowledge and wisdom, clarity and understanding, the information and instructions. All of that will be enhanced, enriched, and increased as we continue to acknowledge, as we continue to honor, and as we continue to venerate our ancestors. So let us move forward. Let us have a wonderful, a peaceful day. Let us continue to be what we have been designed to be as we continue to live, love, and learn our processes of life. So we say peace and power to you all this day, and ashe to our ancestors.